Hello everyone, this is Michael. In this video, I'm going to show you a handy feature of Smartie Manager introduced in the latest release. It allows you to drop data directly to a node, so it can be more practical when you do your testing or day-to-day operations. Let me show you what it means. Launch Smartie Manager, open up your solutions. So in this video, I'm just going to use those included solution for demonstration purpose. So you might have solutions built like these examples. They all runs, they all serve their purpose, but sometimes, especially for testing or day-to-day operation, um, it can be somewhat inconvenient. I'm just giving you an example. For one of the example included is called patient de-identifier, example number 6. Right, so it's quite useful for you to set up certain rules so you can use over and over. In this particular example, you might need to send data to a third party. You want to change the name, date of birth, everything, so that you're confident that the patient's detail is not disclosed. So you build this such solution, like example 6. So in this particular example, you look at the randomized uh, the randomized PID mapper. So you just uh, mapping the patient identifier. There's a number of rules in this example set up to change the patient's name, date of birth, addresses, and so on. And the end, it, it identifies the message. To use this example, you set up a file in reader which instruct the user to send the file to this location with the file name matching this pattern, and then the mapper will do the identification for you, and then after that you send the file to its destination. In this case, we just use a catcher, but alternatively you can use a file writer, you can use a net output, send it out. Uh, the inconvenience of this is that let's see if we start run this solution. Uh, and you have a data sent to you. It's not called reader.h7, it's something called test.h7 like we have included. You have to do for this demonstration, I'm going to just rename it to make it matching what we want. So it's called reader something. So it's called reader1.h07. That matches the naming convention. Then you have to drop it to the location, in which in this case the Smartie data in folder, right here. So when I drop, this solution will run. Supposedly will send the data out to the output folder. Let's see. Paste. I want to show you the thing when it runs, so sort of see the animation. Yeah, so 16 messages went through, they've all been transformed. They've been sent to the output catcher folder. So if you double click output catcher folder, this is the file being transformed. It's quite useful. So if you have another file, just do it again. It do the transformation for you. The only inconvenience is that, as I showed you in the beginning, you have to do the renaming. If the name pattern doesn't match, the filter won't recognize it, and so on. So, so to enhance that, then the later version of the Smartie have this feature called drop files on the node, so that it opens a file input dialog, right? And it has a name filter. So by default you look for H07 messages, CSV messages, and text messages. But in our example, the file was called .dat, I think. So you can just say I want to see everything. Then you go to our examples folder, See this file here? So we can just pick it up. So what will happen is that once you pick it up, you say open, you drop this file onto this node, and this node automatically passes the whatever records contained in this file and continues. So let's do that. If you just go open. Okay, see what's going on is that the file goes straight to this node, bypassing the file reading handler and process and go to the output. Right? So in the output file now you have 32 records applied the de-identifying filtering you set up for it to do. So let's have a look at the output. So this is the output. The first time was run a bit earlier, and the second time is this one. So the naming convention of the output catcher has the name of the handler, and the source file, and the name of the source file. So we have two files be de-identified. Let's actually have a, just for the sake of interest, let's have a look if the de-identification works. Right. So if you uh, let's see our original message. Where is our original message? Go back. This is our original because I renamed it, so it is the same as this one. So here's 16 messages. Then if you go to the output, let's launch another viewer for the output. Both will be uh, randomized as you expect. Just it's just handier. You don't have to set up an output input reader for that purpose. So this is the original reader, and this is the output. So you have the file, the patient name, for example, changes from Gabriel to City to Camellia Blair. So it does the job just a lot easier. So if you have, for example, another solution of filtering or splitting the data sent to different port, you can do that. You don't have to have set up a file in reader to do that. You can just have a solution and does that for you, right? For example, the filtering here. Uh, I want to do the filtering. The only filters A04, A08 messages, and they will send to output uh, Smartie data out. So I can just start this solution. I don't even have to start the first node. I just say second node, and if I drop the file here again, uh, output, and I just put the files there. Let's hope they have A08 and A04 messages. Yes, yes, four of them. So out of 16 messages, A04 and A08, which is filter is for, has been filtered and sent to uh, the Smartie out folder, right? So just a lot easier when you have a solution. You don't have to have the input method. You just pick from where the logic can be applied for. Let's just for the sake of it, let's see the output. Uh, can we just confirm we have get the reader, this one. We only expect A04 and A08 messages. So this is A08, A08. Okay, all four of them are A08 messages. So it sort of works. Now, let me do another demonstration just to illustrate this feature again. So if you go to the handler inventory uh, folder, you say, I want to load all the solutions. So it's just a little secret I want to tell you. You already perhaps knows. All the handlers in the handlers inventory are themselves actually qualified solutions. They are solutions themselves, just they don't have linked handler chain. They just one all by themselves. So let's say you have a task, want to send data to some sites over and over. Uh, Instead of using the Smart HL7 sender tool, you can use this one, for example. So you configure this sender handler, say port 1, 2, 3, 4, then you can just start. So it has no input, it does nothing, right? So if you, for this illustration purpose, I want to put a listener to listen on this port. So I have a Smartie 7 message listener listen on this port. I started, right? So just to illustrate, let's say you have some task, you need to do it over and over. You want to send something out, just convenient as sending through a dedicated tool. You can just say open file, get it, and send. See, the 16 messages go through again. So you just do it. Okay, you want to send other messages, maybe on different folder this time. I don't know, maybe different file, maybe different extension. So you don't have to set up the input folder, the naming pattern anymore. Just drop it. So it's keep going. So so if you have solution you like and you want to share with your colleagues, uh, really with this single options here, it turns your solution to be a very handy desktop tools. You can use it over and over and over. You don't have to just uh, be able to be able to send data, you have to set up a reading, you have to set up naming pattern, you have to set up a receiver, all sorts. So that's the feature of this little enhancement of the latest release, load file input, and just say again, just remember you can choose the filtering. Sometimes you can't see your file, you have different name, .dat for example, you have to change the filter to show all the files. But otherwise, it's very convenient for you to use your solution the way you like to do, get it to work. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next time.